Alright, hi friends, I'm Vaughn. I'm a dental student at New York University College of Dentistry, and the purpose of this video is to show you what I'm using to take my notes, and perhaps you can share this with your friends or people that you know who could also use an upgrade to the system that they're using right now, because I could definitely use it. For instance, before I came to dental school, I was a master's student, and I was using OneNote. And in OneNote, it was really useful because I could draw using my tablet. I actually had a Surface Book with which I would then annotate notes. So not every lecture is set up in such a way that you can. What I use right now is I would screen grab a slide, and then I would take notes at the bottom, as you can see here. But let's say later on we're going to come back to school in person, hopefully, and not every class is optimized for that set of note taking. So we had this right here, and this was really useful for me. However, you can see how disorganized things can get over time, and personally I wanted to be able to look back at my notes as a dentist and not get PTSD when I look at my notes, because I kind of want to look back at my career as a dentist, as a dental student, with a little bit of, I don't know, enthusiasm and nostalgia and stuff, instead of PTSD. Anyway, so what I use is Notion, and I'm here to show you what I use in Notion. This is what you open. When you open up Notion, you get a very blank canvas like this, and let me explain. The very first thing that I thought was fantastic about Notion is that every line you type can be transformed into something else. Say, let's say that this is, let's say it said bones, right? Let's say that these were different bones. We can put those under bones, and then we can open that up. And that right there is a very primitive flashcard system. And what you can do is you can download Notion onto your phone, and say you have, let's duplicate this. That's Control D. If I put Control D from here, it duplicates. Let's say you finished your consolidating all of your notes. You have a billion of these. So on the train, you would open up your Notion on your phone, and then you can quiz yourself just by opening up your bones and all this, just like that. And that's very simple, and that is just scratching the surface of what Notion has to offer. Every page that you open, you can title it whatever, and then give it a relevant icon. You can always change this later, right? And additionally, you can give it a cover picture. These are just aesthetic purposes. They're not really, important to the material. However, in the long run, coming back to this, decreasing the amount of PTSD that you get when you look back at your notes really would start with these little changes here. So let's change this and say bones again. And you can see this guy, and we're dentists, right? So we have the teeth in the forefront. We can just drag that right in the middle. Oops. Like that. Save the position. Fantastic. Whatever. Additionally, it's a Notion allows you to combine different aspects of different services that you may already be using, like Excel. So you can actually make a tiny little table in Notion, and you can let's make this wider. Bam. You can fill this with different properties, whatnot. You can even tag people in here. So the beautiful thing about Notion is that it has a collaborative property, and so you can surf YouTube all you want about the benefits of having Notion as a student, but not many student-driven Notion videos on YouTube really showcase the collaborative properties that Notion has to offer. And here, this is what my GP and I are using so far. So we have the option to share our Notion, and this is our hub page for all of the classes that we have, and you can see more aesthetic things that, when you fiddle with Notion more, you're going to learn these little things, and they really make me happy. I don't know about you guys. But the way I was practicing is I would go into, let's say, embryology. In embryology, they gave us the syllabus already, and so I made a table like I showed you earlier, but this is more fleshed out. So we have the faculty, the unit, we have the lecture, the time, if I pre-read the slides or not. And what happens is this Saint Jeanette, Dr. Saint Jeanette, I'm going to guess, is going to give a lecture series on general embryology, right? And so what I can do here for these next 4 lectures, I can set up a single page that each lecture will look back into. And just like that, we have this one lecture right here, and let's say stuff, right? And then we finish the lecture, and then we go back out, and then we go to lecture number 3. You can see stuff is here, and we can put things. And then in number 4, we realize, oh, you know, stuff and things. Within the lecture, within the syllabus, the Dr. St. Jeanette had given us these objectives that he or she, I don't even know, wants us to understand and be able to, recall as after we finish that person's lecture series. So let's say stuff and things relates to number 14. We can then just highlight, drag and drop under 14, and it's right there. And so already you can see the benefit of having this manipulability, I don't know, being able to manipulate these notes in this way. You can already see the advantage. Additionally, when you share this with your classmates, here we were already practicing, right? So we were calling each other out, and then we were uploading our notes onto here. So I'm not here to tell you to completely change over to Notion. Whatever works for you, keep it. Especially when you're about to start dental school, right? If class is going to start after next weekend, trying to shift your already working primary note-taking system is really risky. So use what works, but then export it as a PDF, because any good note-taking software will allow you to do that. And then you can upload that file here, just so, and then you can leave a little additional note like, oh, I missed slide number 5. You write your name, and now everyone knows that these are your almost complete notes. And so what you do from there is you meet up with your classmates, and then we consolidate into a very aesthetically pleasing note-taking, lecture page. And so we have something to reference when we do a big Zoom call later and want to quiz each other. We can be like, oh yeah, it's over here in these notes. And we all 30 of us from our GP, we worked on this, and we already saw it, and that's fantastic. And it's the best part. The best part about using Notion is that it's free. So that alone should tell you to give it a shot, right? Because worst case scenario, I wasted like 20 minutes of your time fiddling around with a software that you realize doesn't work for you, but it's free. So maybe it doesn't work for you, but you can see how it can work for someone else. And the software, just using it as a note-taking platform is just scratching the surface of the possibilities of what Notion has to offer, because you can also use it to run a business, right? You saw that table. You can have interrelated databases and have a customer relations management software within Notion, and that's huge. That's so powerful of a device to have. And that's my TED Talk. I hope it convinced you, and if not, thank you for listening anyway.